Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial Days, and in this video you are going to learn Django Framework. So guys, this is the complete video, a single video in which I have covered 20 chapters, and step by step from beginning you will learn how the Django works, and also you will be working on different parts of Django. So what I have covered in this video, let me show you. First, what is Django? Django installation, create project, folder and file structure, and then you will learn how to create app. After that you will learn how to work with views, and in 7th chapter you will learn how to create model, and in 8th chapter you will learn how to create templates and static files, how to serve static files, and then Django Form, and in 11th chapter you will learn Django Form validation, and in 12th file upload using MySQL database. You will learn how to connect with MySQL database, and then how to connect with MongoDB and how to work with MongoDB with Django, and then session, cookie using Bootstrap, create admin, and finally Django CRUD, and that CRUD how to connect with admin so that from admin you can do insert, update, delete, as well as from front end. So guys, in this complete video, step by step you will learn all these sessions. So start one by one. Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial Days, and in this video I'm going to start a series called Django tutorial. So in this video I will show you step by step from beginning that how Django works, and at the end you will learn how to develop a complete project. So guys, step by step we will proceed ahead, but in this chapter we are going to cover about what is Django. So before we proceed ahead, we would like to discuss about what is Django. So Django is Python's most popular web framework. As you know, Python itself is a very popular programming language, but using Python directly you cannot develop any website. You have to use any web framework. For example, just like Django or Flask, or there are a lot of other frameworks also, but these two are very important and popular as well. And out of these, the Django framework is most popular web framework. So guys, we will discuss about this only. So using Django, one can develop a dynamic database driven website. So whatever kind of website you want, you can develop using Django framework. So Django is based on MVC pattern. So you might be knowing that what is MVC, model view controller. MVC pattern is the modern technique of writing programming language. So MVC, Django is also based on MVC pattern, but the difference between Django and MVC based framework is that the other frameworks have to be controller, and the controller needs to be written by developer itself. That means what? For example, if you are working on Laravel, you are working on Coordinator or any such other programming language, you have to write coding for model, view and controller yourself. But the most important thing about Django is that the controller is taken care of by Django itself. So you have to focus on model, view and templates. So you can see using this illustration that models, view and templates. So that is why Django is called a MVT model rather than MVC model. At this point of time, you might be not understanding that what are models, views and templates, but as this video progresses ahead, you will know that what is models, what is views and what is template. So in further videos we will be discussing about this model, view and templates as well. So in this video it is enough to know that Django is most popular Python framework for developing any website, database driven website. Also it is not based on MVC, actually it is based on MVC, but the controller section is taken care of Django itself. So we have to focus on MVT or model, view, template structure. And in this busy time, unless we have a strong benefit, we don't try to learn any programming language or any framework. So we will see that why we should learn Django. The first thing is, and most important thing about this is that Django framework has been there since 2005. So you can imagine 15 and 24, right? So it is around for last 19 years. So you can understand this is very stable and very powerful, and it has been there for a long time. So that is the main reason that you should learn this Django framework. And other reasons which we are going to see here, the 5 reasons why you should learn Django. The first one is, we have already discussed about it, model view controller architecture. This is the modern technique of writing programming language, and as I mentioned before, normally in model view controller we have to write coding for model, for controller, and we have to write coding for view as well. But in this case we don't have to worry about controller. Django framework handles controller part, and we have to focus on model, view and templates. So that is one of the important feature, and that makes this Django framework one of the unique framework. The second one is object relational model. Suppose you are going to create any small application, say CRUD operation, insert, update, delete. So in that case what you will have to do, you have to write SQL query yourself. You have to write SQL query yourself, and that is a long process. But the good thing is that using Django framework, you can create just ORM, or object relational mapping. That means you have to map your form with just object relational mapping system that allow the developers to interact with the database using Python objects. So what we have to do, we have to interact with Python objects rather than SQL query. Normally what we do, we have to go to SQL and then you need to write, for example, first name, last name, age, etc. You have to create the fields yourself, right? But in this case you don't have to do that. And also you have to write save query, delete query, update query, insert query. But in this case you don't have to write the query. You have to just map the objects to Django framework, and it automatically will take care of rest of the things. They simplify the database interaction and make it more Pythonic. Developers can define models in Python, and Django takes care of creating the corresponding database tables, handling queries. This is just one of the examples. For example, if you want to create one table using this first name and age, in that case you have to just define this going into your model Python model module, and when you run this, then automatically a table will be created, and you don't have to create table and fields yourself. So that is called object relational mapping. This is very small example, but suppose you have several fields and a lot of insert, update, delete, then developing any application, it takes a lot of time. But here, using this technique which is provided, this ORM technique, you can develop the application faster. The next one is admin interface. When you install any Django application, admin interface is automatically created. You don't have to create the admin. Admin is automatically created, and also insert, update, delete of any user authentication, user labels, all these things is automatically taken care of Django. You don't have to create admin at all. Yeah, later you can modify as per your requirement. So as you can see that you don't have to develop the admin from scratch. The admin interface is highly customizable and can be extended to include additional features, making it valuable tool for mapping data during development and production. So you can understand that it provides us a template, it provides the admin section where we can extend if anything is required, but most of the things it come inbuilt. The next important feature is built-in authentication and security features. Suppose as I mentioned before, that okay, this Django framework provides us admin interface, but what about the login security system? It also provides a security systems. You can automatically log in and register without writing any code. It already provides us that mechanism. Apart from that, there is facility where actually this is inbuilt feature of SQL injection. As you know, SQL injection is the mechanism where malware code or bad code is injected into any SQL query. So this problem is already solved and taken care of by Django framework. And there is cross-site scripting. So from one website, normally it is hacked to another website. To avoid that cross scripting and this kind of problem is taken care of by Django framework. And also cross-site request forgery. This kind of this is high level of hacking the website. So this problem is also solved and it has been already kept in mind while developing Django framework. So as you can see, there is a lot of security feature in Django framework, so that makes the Django framework one of the most popular framework. And one of the very important, and the fifth point is RDF, API development. Suppose you are developing any website or you are developing any mobile application where API you have to create. So Django framework is one of the very popular framework where you can easily create API. Okay, it provides a lot of inbuilt features from where you can develop any API very easily. So RDF includes serialization, authentication, view states and other features that simplify the process of creating API. So this is really a very good framework for creating API with Python programming. And it integrates seamlessly with Django, allowing developers to build both web application API with the same framework. So you don't have to write code separately. With the same Django, you can create API as well. For example, this is sample code which I am going to show you that how you can create. Suppose you have a book list. So here, using just this kind of query, you can serialize and you can create REST API. Of course, all these things we will cover later step by step, but this is just an example to understand that how you can create REST API using the Django framework code. So guys, that's it in this chapter, and in the further chapter we will cover about how to install Django and how to create an application. So stay connected. See you in the next chapter. Bye bye. Hello guys, welcome back to Tutorial Days, and in this video we will see how to install Python and also how to install Django. That means we will set up the environment to create the further project. So the first thing is you need to install the Python, and it's very easy. Here just you need to write download Python. If you go here, for Windows you can simply go and download from here. In my case it's already installed, so I'm not going to install it again, but in case if you don't have Python installed, then you can install. If you want to check if in your computer Python is installed or not, so what you can do, you go to here and then your command prompt. Let me show you from beginning. So you open any command prompt and simply if I write here Python and then press enter, so it will show you these details. That means what? The Python is already installed, and it will also show you the version which is installed into the computer. As you can see, in my case the Python version 3.1.1.2 is installed, so of course I'm not going to install this again. But in case it doesn't show, in that case you have to install Python downloading from here. Now once you Python you have already installed, then we need to install Django. Okay, so for that we can install using this pip3, or simply pip install Django. Remember, for PHP, the installer and the package manager is Composer. For JavaScript, it is npm, and for this Django or Python, there is pip. Okay, actually this 3 is version, so sometimes you don't need to specify this at all. You simply write pip install Django and Django will be installed into your computer. So Django is also already installed in my computer, but let me show you that how to install this. So what I'll do, I'll go here, D drive, and then CD. Actually this is my folder name which I've already created, that's why I'm going inside. You have to create, you can go with any folder, and now just, so let's remove these 3, then press enter. If you go to its official website, then you can also see here pip install Django, and you can specify the version name also. But if you don't specify, then automatically it will get installed there. Apart from that, if you want to download the project from Git, then you can use this Git clone method. So you can do as per your convenience, but this one is the best and easiest method of installing Django framework into your computer. So in my case, since it's already installed, that is why it is saying the requirement already satisfied. That means I had already installed this Django framework. That is why it is saying that the requirement is satisfying here. To check whether it successfully got installed or not, we have to verify this. So what we will do, we will write here Python and then import Django. Then need to write here print Django dot get version, and then this. So you can see the Django version is 5.0.1. that means what, our Django got successfully installed. So guys, that's it in this section, and let's stay connected for further section of this video series. Welcome back to Tutorials, and in this video, in this section, we are going to know how to create project in Django. We have already installed Django, and in this section we will see that how you can create a new project. Okay, so for that we need to open here cmd or command prompt, and then let's go to D drive and cd Django, which is my folder. Now to create the project, this is the command Django admin start project and your project name. So now what I will do, just copy this, and then I will just remove this and create one project, say demo proj. Okay, now let's press enter and it will create a new project. To check that into our folder, let's go to file manager, and then we will check going inside that what kind of file it has created. So it is in my D drive. Inside D drive, let's go to Django folder, which, so demo project, demo, this one, right? Now if you go inside this folder, then you can see there is single file in this project, and that is manage.py. Inside this there is one app which is demo project. So as soon as you create any project, then automatically it gets created one app also, and that is this one. Inside this app you can see there are a lot of files which we will discuss later. So after installing it, what we will do, we will go inside that project, cd demo proj. Now Python and manage.py run server. So basically this manage.py is very useful for command line interface, command line interface, we can say CLI. Okay, so through this we will start the server which we have just created the project. Okay, apart from that, you will see further we can do a lot of other things using this manage.py. So press enter, and then you can see it is showing us this path. So just copy this and let's go here, and then you can see, guys, successfully we have installed the project, we have created the project, and inside this you can see this file. So now let's get back here. So if you go inside this, then you can see this is manage.py. Apart from that, automatically when I run this, then you can see automatically this file has been created, and actually that is SQLite database, okay, where our database will get saved. So what we will do, just okay, we will do this later. Alright, now let's go inside this app. Remember, one project can have many apps. So now let's check about these files. This manage.py, it's a command line utility that allows you to interact with the project in various ways, and it is used to manage the application that we will see later in this tutorial. And second one is app, a directory located inside the actual application package name. It is named in Python, package name which we will need to use. And this one, if you are from Python background, then you might be knowing that whenever you create this file inside any folder, then that becomes a package, right? So basically it is an empty file. Currently it doesn't have anything. To the Python, it tells the Python that the directory should be considered as a Python package, because whenever you create this file, that means that folder becomes a package. Settings.py, it has a lot of settings which during the project we will be working on this. You can interact with database, the database connection. Also you can include here your various apps and middleware, and you can see here template which we will be working in later this video. And database, you can see current database is SQLite 3. This is the same one base DR which it has been created, this one. So the path and details you can find here. Apart from that, if you want to use another database, for example MySQL and other, so in that case the database connection will be created here. Okay, so there are a lot of configuration. So in short, settings.py, as its name suggests, it is for settings and configuration. And second important file in this one is URLs, which we will always be using this URL. Through this URL, currently there is admin URL, and later we can create more URLs here, which we will discuss later in this video. So basically we can say that when you open this, then first it listens. Suppose we pressed enter. Okay, so first it is responsibility of this wsgi.py file. This is a Python application file which is responsible for running the gateway. And one very important thing you should understand, that we don't need to install any server separately. For example, if you are doing PHP, then you need to install Apache. If you are doing Java, then you need to install its server Apache Tomcat. For ASP.NET, you need to install IIS. But for Django application, particularly for development, for testing purpose, for learning purpose, you don't need to install separately any server. It comes inbuilt with a Python, a Django, which is responsible for running this one, because we have not installed any new server. So when we hit anything from here, when we try to open an application, the application which listens first, and that is this WSGI. So if you see this illustration, then see how this works. This is our Django project, and then first it interacts with WSGI server, okay, and then it transfers to actual web server, and finally the output is sent to the browser. So we can say this is interface between actual server and Django project, and this is the script which is responsible for this. And you might have seen one more file. Let's discuss about that one also. ASGI. Okay, this one is responsible for asynchronous data handling, and particularly this is very useful for creating API, which we will cover in the later part of this video. So ASGI.py stands for asynchronous server gateway interface. It is specification for asynchronous web servers and framework in Python. So whenever actually Python has been this Django framework has been created very smart, so mostly it handles the asynchronous data. It's not in a blocking way. Okay, also particularly when you are using API, then it requires to handle asynchronous data. So this file is responsible for that. But currently we don't need to much worry about this. We have to focus on particularly the settings.py and this urls.py. So guys, that's it in this video. How to create the project we discussed, and also what are different file which is required for this. Remember one more thing, when we create any project here, then all these are settings file. Okay, I will show you later that how you can create app. Okay, so we will cover that in later part of this video. So stay connected. Let's meet in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Race, and in this video I will show you how to create app. In the previous video, in the previous section, I have already shown you how to create project, and when you create any project, automatically the app doesn't get created. Separately you will have to create the app, and inside app it contains the business logic. So rather than creating a project every time, we will just create app. So suppose you have to work on 3, 4, 5, 6 projects, then you don't need to create every time the project. What you have to focus only on the app. So I will show you step by step how to create the project, the app. We have already created the project, right? So in that one we will create one app. So let's go here and then press Ctrl C. Now let's create one app. So this is the command python manage.py start app my app. So in rather than my app, I will write here demo app. But remember, whatever name you want to give, you can provide the name. So python manage.py start app, and here I am providing the name demo app. Okay, so now if you go to here inside Django folder, and then our project name is this one. Inside this you can see demo app. So mistakenly we had created this one also. So let's do one thing, let's delete it. So demo proj, this is the configuration file, and demo app, this is our app name. If you go inside this, then you can see apps, model, and views, and migrations, apps, admin. There are a lot of files inside this app. So inside the migration, it is stored the migration data, and the main two files are important here. The first one is models and second one is view. Okay, so currently in the next chapter I will show you how to create model, but at this point of time we will work on here views file. Okay, so let's open this in Sublime Text. if you see inside app, you will see from django.shortcut.import render. Okay, and here we will create one function called index or whatever. So first thing, we will import the HTTP response. Okay, this one, and then the next one will be, we will create one function, and inside that, using the HTTP response, we will display the data. So let's copy this one, the whole thing from here. Okay, so this is basically a function hello, right? And then HTTP response return. So this message should show, but this is not enough. We have to do some configuration here, going into URLs. And where is URLs? URLs is inside our demo project. So go to URLs, and then we have to make modification here, because here there is only one admin. So here, if you see, we need to write our app name. Okay, so in our case, the app name is what? Demo app, right? Demo app. It was demo app, right? Demo proj and demo app. So we need to write here app name, and then in URL patterns, you just need to copy and show here. So hello, and then views.hello. So what does it mean? We are importing the view. Which view? Not this one. Views, this one. We are importing that. Inside that view, there is function called hello. So that is why we have written views.hello, and its alias is hello. So now let's start here. App run server. Okay, okay, there is some indentation problem. So where? Views line number 7. Line number 7. Yeah, now it's fine. So now let's go here, and then localhost. So the port number is, simply let's copy this, and now slash hello. So guys, you can see it is working perfectly, but how? Let's see here. This is our function name, right? This is our function name, and we have created here, going into URLs. Yeah, here if you see, this is the alias, that means URL. You will access with the same one, hello, and when we hit this URL, then it searches for hello function inside view file. Okay, going into view file, it searches that one. So when we check here, it goes here, and then it finds, okay, so inside view there is HTTP response, then hello world. So that is why it is displaying you here. So guys, you can create as many app you like, and so this is I have seen students are always confused here. So don't be confused when you create any project. Inside project, you will see by default with the same name it will get created here, but remember, this is not the app. You have to create app separately, and then that app will contain the model and views where you have to work. So guys, in the next chapter we will see how to create models, and step by step, this way we will proceed ahead. So that's it in this section. Let's meet in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial Days, and in this video we are going to discuss about Django model. As you know that Django is based on MVC pattern or MBT pattern, which we have been discussing in previous section. So if you should see this, then user interacted with Django framework and send URL, then first interaction happens with the view. If view, for example, we are adding some record, in that case a user will click on view and then the data will be sent to database. But before that there is a file called model.py which handles the record, the database related queries. Okay, so we will see that one only. Django model is subclass of Django.db.models.model. So Django model is subclass of this parent class, and each field of the model class represents database field. Django provides us with a database abstraction API that allows us to create, retrieve, update and delete. Okay, so it provides an API, abstraction API layer, which will help us to insert, update, delete, which is one of the most important tasks which is performed in any application. The model is defined in models.py file. The file can contain multiple models. It's not necessary that it will contain only one. It can contain as many as models in single file. So how it is written, as I mentioned before, first we need to include or import this one. So that is why from Django.db.import, in the first line you need to import this one, and then class students. For example, this is student class example name, but it can be anything. Models.model, first name models.char field, then maximum length 30, last name models.char field and max length 30. And finally when we will migrate, that means when you run this application, then a table will be created automatically with this kind of field, where first name 30 characters, last name 30 characters, not null. This way a table will be created. Though this is just for simulation purpose, I will show you later when we will be doing any CRUD operation further. But for understanding purpose, this is enough here that this is the way we write. So if you go to our application here, this is our app. So if you go inside our app, then you will find here models.py. Just double click on this and then you can see this is already included here. The rest of the code you need to include. For example, if I just put here these two, so we can write the code here. Okay, now let's do one thing. This is the website sqlitebrowser.org. Once this is, then you will go to here in this website. The website name is sqlitebrowser.org, and then click on downloads. And after that you will see, if your operating system is Windows, then just download this Windows portable app. Okay, once you download, actually I have already downloaded, then you double click on this and it will ask you to install. It's very portable. Then you can see all the files from your SQLite database. And this is GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, it opened here, and then file and open database. So our project is in D drive, and then Django, then our project name is demo proj, this one, and this one is our SQLite database. So you can see already these are the tables. Okay, these are the tables which has been created there. So you can edit, update, delete from here. Okay, now let's go here and see this is the model, and we want to create this model, the database. Okay, and this is our server. So what I will do, python manage.py and make migrations, press enter. So as you can see, it says that it didn't migrate anything. So what we will have to do, let's go here and settings, where is that? Settings, admin app models, inside this, no, demo project, inside this settings, and then we need to connect our app here. So our app name is demo app, this one, right? So you have to specify here your connect here app name. So once we have connected, then let's do this. Okay, demo app, it didn't find. Yes, it's correct, demo app. Okay, so create model students, right? And then the next step will be migrate. Okay, applying initially. Okay, now let's go here and then check. And here you can see this demo app and first name, last name and ID. So guys, this way you can see we have successfully created model here, and then when we migrate, then automatically table gets created. So you can see that how Django is smart. You don't have to go to your database, you just need to define here, and through its API ORM it automatically generates the table going into the database. So hope this video instruction is very helpful for you, and you have now known that how you can create any model. So now that's it in this section. Now let's meet in the next section. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Race, and in this video series you are learning Django Framework. And in this series and in this chapter we are going to discuss about Django Templates. So Django provides convenient way to generate dynamic HTML pages by using its template pattern. A template consists of static parts of the desired HTML output. So in short, what is template? Django provides template, and why we need Django template? That's the most important question. As you know, in HTML you cannot do any complex programming language. For example, if you want to display the names of the student, if you want to write some other logic, so it's not possible in HTML. HTML, as you know, that is simple markup language through which you can do designing, you can do markup, bold, italic, etc, etc, but it's not full-fledged programming language. But in when you are developing a website, then it may be a requirement that you need to write some programming logic into HTML. So that is not possible in plain HTML. So what Django do, it provides a certain template, and using the template we can write the code. So, and also in HTML you can write completely in HTML code, and you can just call that page into Django, and it parses, it checks, and it display to the user. So that is the most important thing. So Django template engine is used to separate the design from Python code. It is convenient way, and as you know, we have already been discussing MVC, MBT, MBT. So now this is the actual template. First you learned how to create view and model, and now in this section you will know that how we will design the complete HTML page and how we can include that in Django. And we have to do some configuration. So going into settings.py, we need to write there. So what we will do, view.py, in view.py we need to call this Django template loader, this one, okay, in view.py. So now let's do one thing. In our view template we already have, so now let's create here. Let's go to view, close it, app section and views. In view section we have already, and one more thing, you can see we have already written such code in view section, but the drawback is that we directly are writing the code inside the Python code. But in this case what we will do, we will write the Python code here, but HTML page will be in separate section. So here you can see from Django HTTP response, this one we have already imported on the top, so we don't need this. We need to import this one. Okay, it has been imported in the top. This one you can see. So now the main difference here you can see index.html, okay, which we will create going into our templates folder, and whatever we will write it will display here. So it is index, let's write it something different, because index I think already we have, no? Yeah, index we already have, so it will get conflicted. We will write it as home, okay, and of course we have to change that going into URLs also, but for the time being it's fine. And now the next step will be to connect here in settings my app. So in our case what we have done, we have already connected here. If you go to settings, here in settings demo app we have already connected, and after that we need to write here template. In here if you compare the code, then it is only dirs, okay. So what you need to do, just copy this one and we will write here the complete code, okay. So os.path we need to import here once again, os. So os.path.join base dir templates. Now we will create this folder and put our index.html file into that folder. And one more thing we have to do, as it says create a directory called templates inside my app. So in our case the app is demo app, right? Demo app. So inside demo app let's create a folder here, directory, and name will be templates, okay. And inside templates, so remember there is always confusion where we will create this directory. Remember you will always create the directory, the folder inside your app folder, okay, not inside. There is confusion always. Demo project, this is demo project, this is configuration file. You will not create any template inside this, you will create into your app, so that is important. Now inside this we will create a simple HTML file, and the name will be index.html. And here inside body, let's write here h1 tag and then welcome to Django. Save it. And now of course we need to make modification going inside here URLs. So it'll be home and then home. So as you know, this home is the function name and this one is URL. Now let's save it and let's see if there is any error. No. Now let's start the server. Okay, actually there is one mistake. The mistake is we need to call this one into our view file here. Okay, and then it will work. Okay, so now let's go to our browser and refresh it and you can see it is working now. If I write here home, so it's fine. Now you might be wondering that what is so important about this. Two things are important about this. The first thing is this, the welcome file is coming from separate file and that is from here index.html, right? And it is being loaded here rather than writing directly. You can see in the two examples before we have written the code directly in Python only, but here in this case what we have done, we have written the code in separate file and we are just calling as loading as a template. Okay, so that's important thing. Now we will see the template language. So now Django template language. Django templates uses its syntax to deal with the variables, tags, expression, etc. Template is rendered with the context that is used to get value at a web page. So suppose you have some variable, you have written some code in Python and you want to display that code into your HTML file. So how this is possible? It is possible. If you want to display, then you need to write like something like this, double curly braces. Okay, so in Python normally we write print and we can display, and in this case what happens here, you need to write here double curly braces. So what we will do in our HTML file, we will declare here variable. So what we will do, let's write here two variables, and the variables are, say first name is John and last name is Doe, and here we are making it as a context like object like. So first name, this first name will be taken from here. We could have written directly here, but no problem. Last name, okay, and this context now we will send here in HTTP response, and here we need to write two parameters, context, this context, and render. Actually it will be request, not render. Request. Okay, we have to pass two parameters here. So what's happening here, this is our template file. Okay, and that template we are rendering here, and now along with that template we are passing these two value also. So now if we go to HTML file here, then we would like to show those names. So here I'll write first name and then first name br and then last name, last name Okay, so now let's see again, refresh the page and check. So guys, you can see first name and last name John and Doe, it is displaying. So how? the data is passing from here. If you compare, you see the data is passing from Python file to our HTML file, right? And the data is displaying here. So guys, this way you can pass the value. Later we will do more complex coding. For example, we will fetch the data from database and we will display in our HTML file. So this is how the template works. Apart from that, you can use if condition, loop, etc. For example, I'm just showing you with one example. Suppose we are passing here one more, say auth, then here true. Okay, auth, and then we are passing here true. So now in our index.html we will write percentage. So this is the syntax. Okay, if we can write something like this, so the syntax is curly braces percentage, curly braces percentage, and if auth, then it will show you are logged in. This is just example, and if. Okay, so now let's see there. You can see it is showing you are logged in, but if I remove here from view section to false, then it shouldn't show there, right? No, we have to check here. If auth equal to true, then it should display. Okay, we are changing something like this, auth true, remember T capital, and then we are calling here auth true, and then inside HTML we have just written here if auth is true, then it will show, or else it will not show. So now if you check, then definitely refresh, it is showing logged in is true. And now if I change to false, here false, then it will not show anything, right? Now if you want to place here else condition, then you can provide else condition as well. So the else condition will be like this, if, then else, and finally end. So if you are not logged in, then it will show logged in, else it will show not logged in. Again true, then it should display logged in, right? So this way you can write if and else condition also directly into the HTML code, which is not normally possible without this Django template. Now suppose you want to display here a list of the names. Okay, say Rajesh, Kareem, Mohan, Keith. Okay, we have 4 names. Now this list we want to pass here name list colon, and then where is it, list. We can name it as name list, same, and then name list here, right? Now we want to display this name list using loop into here. So the idea is how to show the data using loop. What happened? Then here we will write for, and here the code will be for name in name list. Which name list? This one, name list. Okay, so for name in name list, and then this we will show here name. So here you will see the list of the names as a list we have provided here. So you can see you can write complete code here in HTML also, and this is the template language. So let's refresh it. What happened? Unhashable type list, where? View dot line number 49, right, number 49. Right, so here we need a past. Now it's fine, but the data is not showing, right? Spelling is fine, no? Name list in here also, name list, the same name list where name list, not names list. Yes, so now guys you can see this is the list of the name. So this way you can do your templating. So of course this is the beginning, and of course in further videos we will be working with this kind of programming and template manipulation. So that's it in this section. So let's meet in the next section. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Days, and in this video you are learning Django Framework. And guys, in this video we are going to discuss about static files in Django, how you can handle static files. As you know, in any website there are always not only HTML file, CSS, images, JavaScript, etc. So how we can serve those static files in Django? Say in this section of this video I will show you that one only. So in a web application, as we have already mentioned, it is important to manage these resources so that it doesn't affect our application performance. Django deals with it very efficiently and provides a convenient manner to use resources. The Django contrib.lead.static files should be module helps us to manage these things. Okay, so what we will have to do, we need to include these contrib static files, where this one, and I believe this is already there, no? Settings, no, yes, this is already there. Okay, in case it's not, then you need to update this one. Okay, static one. Now this one is done, and after this define static URLs in settings.py like this. Okay, so static URL, let's check here. We need to static URL, is there anywhere? Yeah, static URL is already there, static. Okay, in case it's not, then you need to specify that. So that one is already done there, and then load static files in the templates by using the expression, this one. Alright, so now what we will do in our application, let's create one static file, static folder actually inside our demo app. So let's create one folder called static. Okay, inside this we will create one file, that is style sheet. Where is that? Style.css. And inside that we will just write one simple CSS code. Body background yellow. Okay, one very simple file. Now going into templates and then index.html, it's already open here now. So index.html, if you want to load that one, then we need to write here static, and then let's keep inside CSS folder. Okay, style.css. So let's do one thing. We'll create one folder called CSS, and let's keep it inside that one. Okay, so now this page should show yellow when it runs. Now let's, oh, there is something wrong. Actually it will be like this: link rel style sheet, then href, and then percentage static, and CSS folder name, then style dot, our file name is style.css, right? Now let's see. And one more thing, we need to write this code for load static. So here somewhere we need to write load static. Okay, but CSS still it's not showing, so let's see what happens. Okay, not found. So we need to write this code also, and it loads the static files. Okay, and then finally you have to write this code wherever you want to include. Now if you want to include JavaScript here also, so we need to write here script src and then js, not yes actually, let's copy this whole thing, slash here will be js and then main.js, and then finally script close. we need to create one file here, JS file inside static folder. main.js. Just here alert. Working. Okay, now let's try. Yes, so as you can see, the JavaScript is also working perfectly. So guys, using static folder here, what we have done, let me show you again. Remember, this static and templates, these both will be in your app folder. Okay, so inside static you will keep HTML files here in templates, and inside static one you can keep here images, JS, CSS. So let's do one thing, let's create one more images, and we will insert one image as well. So let's do one thing, I'll copy my photo, this one, paste here umar.png. okay, now let's go here and then we will display the photo here. So we will write img src and then here. So same syntax we will write there. Then images and then umar.png, which is the file name, imgsrc, and this is the path static. Inside that we will display it. So guys, you can see the image is also displaying here. So this way you can create a Django website and call CSS, JavaScript and images. So that's it in this chapter. Let's see the next chapter. And by the way, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, then I strongly recommend you to please subscribe the channel and don't forget to like the video. And if you have any queries and question, just write in the comment. So thank you. Let's meet in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Days, and in this chapter we are going to discuss about Django model form. Normally what happens when you create any form, you have to write HTML code, right? Like input type, this, that. So these kind of things you need to write there. But the most important thing about Django is that it is built in such a beautiful way that you can just write, create form and models, and automatically HTML code will be generated. So as it said, Django automatically does it for it to reduce the application development time. Okay, for example, suppose we have a model containing various fields, we don't need to repeat the fields in the form file. For this reason, Django provides a helper class that allows us to create form class from Django model. So let's see how does it work. What we will do, we will create another app. Okay, so that will be better. So currently inside demo project, what we will do, we will create another app. Okay, so let's create another app, and we are going to create a new app called form app. Okay, so as you know, as soon as you create a new form, new app then in settings.py. So let's do one thing, let's close all these things, and this is the common settings. Okay, so inside the setting we need to write here let's do one thing, we will close this one. Okay, and our new app name is form app. Okay, this app, now we are loading this app, form app. Right, now where is your form app? Yeah, this is our form app. So inside the form app we will first open the models.py. So now let's copy from here to here, and in the model section let's write this code. Let's click here, reformat the file, so it will reformat. And so we have filed first name, last name, contact, email, age, and table name. Let's do one thing, let's create. Okay, so let's do one thing, because we already had this student model and table also, so we will, so the model name will be employee, and here also the table name will be employee, and here first name, last name, contact, which is integer, and contact normally let's make it char filled, because it can be 91 plus 91 plus 1, something like that, and email, and then age. Okay, so these are 1 2 3 4 5 fields. Okay, now our model is ready, and the second one which we will work is view. And one more thing, we need to create a new file called form. So let's go to our documentation and see. Now we will create form.py. Okay, so form.py, inside form app let's create one file called here form.py, and now inside that form we will write this code. Okay, so what's happening here? And yes, so our name is app name is form app, form app dot models, and this is not student, actually this is employee, because we have changed the name. So from form app dot models and then employee, and here we will name it as, and this is the student, so of course we need to change here to employee, and student form, rather than student form we will write here employee form. Okay, so that's it. So in the form section we have so in the in this section employee form, and that's it. And fields all, that means all field will be generated. So we have created form, and now let's work on, let's see, view.py. Now let's copy this and paste here, where in the form.py, not form, view.py. Okay, so our app name is once again here form app dot form, and here is employee form, and once again we will import this one, and request and index, and then this emp we will send from here emp to this form, right? Okay, so the next task will be URLs. Okay, so inside URLs we just need to write this one. Where is URLs? Inside demo project. And here we need to import form app, right? And demo app, it will ask for demo app. So what we will do, let's comment all this because we are going to work only on form app. Okay, so views dot index. Now so this function we are calling here inside URL. Okay, now the next task will be, let's close it now. Form app, inside form app we will create templates. Inside templates, index.html. In here let's copy this whole code. Okay, I will show you the code here. Just replace this. So what is this? Form method post and class whatever you like, and this one we need to write here for security purpose. Okay, and then form.as.p. Now you might be wondering what is this. Actually this is the magic. Okay, when you write form.as_p, then automatically it will map to the model. Okay, and all the fields will automatically generate. You don't have to write the complete HTML code. Okay, so that is important thing. With this small code, all the form fields will be generated. Just you need to write here submit, and of course you have to start from form to form. So now let's run the code and see the magic. So Python manage run server. Now let's check here. Okay, it's index. Okay, so guys, as you can see, the form is successfully generated. If you right click and view here, then you can see this kind of form is automatically generated. We have not written this code, right? Here if you see the code, we have not written this code. So there are two options. Either you manually you can write here, or you can take help of Django, and as you can see automatically it generates the form. And also this is the security code which is hidden, and this has been generated from this code. So guys, that's it in this form section, and let's meet in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Age, and you are learning Django Framework. And in this video, in this section, we are going to discuss about Django Form. In the last chapter, we have discussed about Django Form creation, and in this one we will see how to validate the form, because as you know that user validation, the form validation is very important, or else junk data or unwanted data can go into the database, which may cause the problem. So it is very simple in Django. Just you need to write each valid method to use for perform validation for the each field of the form. It is defined in the Django Form class. Okay, it returns true if the data is valid and places all the data into attribute. Okay, so let's see how this will work. So this is model which we have already created here in the model section. So what we need to change just in the form section, not form actually, yeah, in the form view section. So let's go to view. In the view section we will do the validation. So in the view section we will write here if request.method.post then form employee post, or else. So this code we will write there. So let's go there, and then here let's comment this, let's paste the code. So it will check if request.method.post then form employee form, which is this request.post. If form is valid, this will check if the form is valid or not. Okay, so if not valid, then it will redirect and it will show the error, else pass. That means it will do nothing. In else part, form employee form, so we are creating an instance of the form, our form, and finally we will pass this form and index.html. That's it. So the same thing is there also. So now let's go to our the page, refresh, and it's everything fine. Now without writing anything, we are trying to save. Okay, this is email, so email ID. So here you can see there is form validation. It says fill out the field. Okay, I am filling here, again filling here without contact. So it asks me to fill email, it asks me to write like this, and then this one also. So guys, as you can see, the form validation is working perfectly. So that's it in the form validation section. So now let's meet in another chapter. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Age, and in this video you are learning Django Framework. And in this series, in this chapter, we are going to work on Django file upload. As you know, file upload is a very basic feature of any web application. So of course you need to learn this as well, how to upload images or file. So in this one, forms.field method is used to create file input and submit the file to the server. And of course, if you want to upload the file, then you need to include this one into our form tag. So let us do one thing. First create the HTML, but before that, what we will do, first create a separate project, a separate app actually. So let's go to here and let's open this in command prompt, and we will create a new project, form upload, new app, not project, because this is the project. Inside this we will create new app. So the command is, as you know, python manage.py and start app file upload. This is our app name. Okay, we are giving it name app name. So press enter and a new app should be created. Okay, now dir, and then you can see a new app called file upload. And for that, what we need to do is inside our demo proj settings we need to include here that app. So for the time being, let's close it, and our app name is file upload. File upload, right? Okay, so we have connected our app to the project, right? So now what we need to do, let's close it, and we will work here inside this file upload. So first thing, what we will do, we need to create one file called index.html, and as you know that index.html we need to create inside here, so inside templates, right? So first we need to create here directory, and that is called templates, and inside template we will create that file, HTML file. So it will be index.html. Now inside that HTML, let's copy this code, and it's not a very hi-fi code, it's very basic as you can see. So let's start from form to form, that's it. Now simply let's copy the code here, let's name it as file upload. Okay, so there is nothing special about this. The two things is important: form method post and enc type multi-part form data. Remember whenever you want to upload any image or file, then you need to provide this tag. Okay, and then form as p. So for this one we will create one form here, form.py. Okay, so let's save it, and then let's go to our here we will create one more file called forms.py. So let's go here, and then Python file we will write here form.py. Okay, actually it will be let's name it as forms.py. So reflect. Okay, now let's write the code inside this. And guys, how to create the form we have already covered in this in previous chapter. So in case you have not seen that, you should first check that. So what we have done, from Django import forms, we are importing this form class from Django. Okay, and then now this is class student forms, and here we are, let's do one thing. So as you know, these kind of things we have already done in previous chapter, how to create a form. Okay, so there are first name, last name, email and file. So these are the fields which we are going to use. Okay, and corresponding to this a new file will be generated, new form, actually these are the form fields actually. Now the next task is to work on view.py. So inside view.py, let's copy this. So where is view.py? This is view.py. So Django shortcuts, render, they are all already there. So and our app name is file upload. So this is our app name, and of course this file we will create later. Okay, so file, and now let's do one thing for the time being, comment it, and then here let's include the form, and our app name is not my app, the app name is file upload, right? File upload. So file upload dot forms. Okay. File from file upload dot form import student form. Unresolved reference student form. We have student forms here. File upload dot forms. File upload dot forms, and then now it's fine. And okay, so we are importing this form which is inside. Actually, we are importing this student form from file upload from file upload dot forms. So this is our app name, and this is our form, this one. Okay, we are calling there this function, we are calling here. And now let's write the code for doing the action. Now let's copy it, guys. As you know, we have already these things before, right? So what are these? This is the function and post method. Okay, so this is post method, and then student form post method dot files. If student form is valid, then handle file upload. Actually, this function we will write into this functions dot py. Okay, so far we have not created this handle file. Else it will show the form. Else part, it will show the form into HTML file. And finally, inside our URLs, we need to specify this. So let's go demo proj and then URLs. Yeah, it's already there actually. And here we need to call our form from file upload import views, right? And this is the index files. So that's it. There is not much change in this. And finally, we need to create here one more file for uploading the file, means action, where actual file uploading work will be done. So let's go here and then create one file, Python file called functions.py. Functions.py. So whatever name you want to provide, there is no restriction in that, but currently I'm giving just for function.py. And here, as you can see, handle file upload. If you remember in view, handle file upload we are written. So now let's uncomment this, because now it's fine. So function file upload functions, simply, yeah, that's it. We are importing file upload and then this function file. Okay, so if it's providing error, then why not write here? Okay, so the error is gone. Okay, so now with open, and now we need to write here our project app name, file upload, and we need to create static folder inside that here. So let's go to here in directory static folder, and inside that we will create one more folder, and that is called upload or images, whatever name you want to provide. So that is actually the file will be storing here inside static folder and then upload folder. So whenever we will upload, it should display here. Now finally let's go here and Django manage.py run server. What happened? Oh, Python, I'm sorry, not Django. Okay, so model class form app, somewhere it is still written form app, so it doesn't declare explicit app. Let's do one thing, I guess inside settings not inside settings, URLs, right? URLs, let's comment these two, and somewhere it is written in the view or where. Okay, after commenting that code here, because this one, and also in the view section, now it's working fine. Okay, so let's see after running. Our form, the index URL name is index and then slash. Okay, so finally this is our form, first name, last name, Gmail, and file. We will try to upload a file. We will see whether it is uploading or not. Okay, let's go to picture and then I will try to upload this one. File upload, it says file uploaded successfully. To verify, let's go into the folder and check if really the file got uploaded or not. So our app name is file upload, this one, right? And inside static folder, inside upload, and yes guys, you can see the file is successfully uploaded. So let's recap the code once again. How did it work? The first thing is, what we did, we wrote here HTML code, simple here form method, and we are calling this form, and the form we have defined here, first name, last name, email, and file. Okay, actually these three are not required for the time being, only file was enough, but no problem, we have created here 4 fields, right? And this form we have called here inside our, here we have called, so student form actually we have called here. So if request.method, that means if we post, then this line, this snippet, code snippet will work when we submit the code, and before that we are creating an instance of the form and we are passing here, and finally we are calling that into our HTML file. Okay, and here how it's working, we are calling this function which is inside our functions.py. Here this function we are calling here in view section. Okay, and finally when the file is successfully uploaded, in that case it will display this message. So guys, hope this is useful for you, and let's meet in the next video. So by the time you have not subscribed my channel, then I request you to please subscribe the channel, and also if you have any comment, then don't forget to write into the comment box. Hello friends, welcome to tutorials. In this video you are learning Django Framework, and in this chapter we are going to see how to connect database. But guys, you have already seen how to connect database with SQLite, which is inbuilt. Now we will see how to connect database with MySQL. As you know, MySQL is one of the very popular database server, and after that I will also show you how to connect database with MongoDB, which is also very important and nowadays popular, and that one is NoSQL. Okay, so let's see that how this works. So as you know, to connect MySQL, Django.db.backends.mysql, this driver is required. So of course we will have to install. It will show us error, and then after that we will connect. So this is the connection string, which is normally inside settings.py. We will write this connection string there. So let's do one thing, start step by step how to connect the database. So once again, to understand it better, what we will do, let's create one more app. This time the app name will be db demo. Okay, and now here once again in the settings.py, let's close everything from here, the previous one. Let's keep URL, because URL we will require, functions also, and settings, right? So here in the settings, once again let's comment it, and then let's connect another one, and that is db demo. db demo. Guys, the name was like this one, right? DVD capital, db demo. Okay, and here for database, you can see this one is default database connection. So now we will write here the code for MySQL database connection, and let's take from here. So databases, and then this one up to here, just copy here. So actually that was already there, just I will connect this. Okay, comment actually, and now so these are, so database is default. So this is our driver name, and database name we will provide here. So let's name it as db connect, the same one which is our app name. Okay, then username root, and password this, and localhost. But in my case the username is my admin, and the password is Angular 13. But if you are running the MySQL localhost, then in your case here will be root, and there is no requirement of password. If you are using Windows, then, and localhost, and in my case the port number is 3308. You keep the port number as it is if you have not made any modification. In my case, since my SQL I have installed this separately, that is why, and I have changed the port number. So that is the reason. Here you can see the port number is 3308. That's why. So what I will do, I will just create one schema, that is database, here somewhere. Create schema, database. So the database name will be db connect and then apply. You can use PHP myadmin also to create the database. That's it. Our database is now finally created. That's it. Now let's get back to our tutorial, and then what we need to do, and to check the connection we will write this command to check if the database is really connected or not. Okay, so it says error loading MySQL module. So did you install MySQL client? We need to install this module, okay, MySQL client. So here we need to write pip install MySQL client. Press enter. Then finally the database is connected, right? So now once again let's migrate this. All right, so now the migration is done successfully. That means what? The database is connected successfully. So let's open PHP myadmin, and in my case I can check here also. So our database name is db connect. Where is that? Okay, so this is db connect. So guys, you can see all this table has been successfully created. Okay, that means what? The connection is made successfully, and this one is also, the tables are created now. These are the default tables which are created, for example user and groups and all that. Okay, so what we will do now, let's create our own model and we will create our own table, and we will see whether our table is being created or not. So what we will do, let's go to models.py and let's migrate this one. So in our case our project name is db demo, right? So here let's go to the model and then paste this code. And guys, we have already seen that how to create model, how to migrate, but that time it was with SQLite. But in this case what we are doing, emp name, contact. So these are the fields which we are providing and asking it to create a table called employee. Okay, right? So DB models, it's 2 times so let's keep it only 1 time. Now once again we will migrate it. Migration, we need to write first make migration. So what we will have to do, first we need to write make migrations and then migrate. Right, it says that a model make migrate has been created. So where inside migrations, if you go here and then you check migration, inside migrations, then you can see this is the file which has been created here, and also all the fields has been created same as what we have specified here. So first this one is created, but yet there is no such table here. If you refresh, then you can see there is no any table called employee. So to create the employee, once again what we will have to do, migrate. Okay, then now the table will be created. So let's go to again here, refresh it, and then guys, you can see this table has been successfully created with the columns name, id, emp id, name and contact. So guys, this way you can connect with MySQL and also migrate the model. That means you can create the table. Hello friends, welcome back to tutorial Race, and in this video, in this section, I'm going to show you how to connect MongoDB database with Django framework. As you know, we have already done database connection with SQLite and then MySQL, and now this time we are going to connect our Django framework with MongoDB connection, MongoDB database. Okay, because MongoDB is one of the most popular database engine, and also MongoDB is gaining more and more popularity because of its no SQL feature. So in this one, we will see how to connect MongoDB database with Django framework. The first thing what you need to do is install its dependency. So let's do one thing, install this one. Actually I had already installed this, so that's why it is saying that it is satisfying our condition. So what you need to do, pip install Django and pymongo. So both of these I have already installed. So sometimes you may get this error. In case if you get this error, then you need to specify the version. That means 3.7 below you have to install. Okay, so in case if you get any error, then you specify this version. That's it. So now let's do one thing, let's go to our settings.py and then let's comment this MySQL database connection, and from here let's copy this connection and paste below. So let's go to our MongoDB database compass, and here this is the connection string which we will provide here. So engine we are using Django, and database name I am providing here same as our app name. So db demo. Okay, and then let's write here the connection string. Just we need to remove this because separately we have given this one, and we currently we have installed into our local host, so these two are not required. In case if you have not installed MongoDB in your computer, then you can follow this video, this how to install MongoDB into Windows machine. Okay, this video, just you go to tutorial Race and search here Mongo, and you will find these are the previous ones. So you follow this video how to install MongoDB. Okay, that's it. And then once we are done with this, then we will test the connection whether it's working or not. So now let's go to let's write here migrate. Okay, it says that it has been migrated. Now let's check going into our MongoDB. So connect here, and then guys you can see this is the database name, and also you can see this is our model name which we had created before. This is the model name, empid, name, contact, So these are the fields. So this is our table name which has been created here successfully. So guys, this way we have also connected with MongoDB and Django Framework. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Race, and in this video you are learning Django tutorial, Django Framework. And in this section we are going to discuss about Django session. We have already covered how to connect database with MySQL, with SQLite, with MongoDB, and in this session we are going to show you how to create a session and how to utilize it. As you know, session is very important to maintain the data throughout the browser while you are your browser is open, particularly when you are creating any login, register, this kind of things. In that case it is very useful. So in Django, the default storage of the session is in the database. If you check here in the previous section I had shown you, then you will see in the table section Django session, you can see. So the session is actually stored here. Okay, these are the session key, data and date. All these fields are created automatically, so the session is stored here. Okay, and in this one I will show you how to create the session. But yes, it's not important, you can also configure to make this in file based. Okay, but for the time being we are going to use the default one. So what happens here, Django contrib.session.middleware session middleware, it needs to be into our settings.py, and also Django contrib.session in install apps. So both these are already included if you check here. So let's go to settings.py and then in the meantime let's comment this database and keep our default this MySQL. Okay, and then what I was talking about here, middleware. So you can see the session middleware is already there, and also inside in middleware section and installed this one Django contrib session, this is already there. So these two are responsible for maintaining, to storing and retrieving the data. So what we will do in our DB demo, well, let's do one thing once again to understand it better. Let's create another app. Okay, so we must have app creating in the beginning. Yeah, this one. So let's create here, say demo session. So okay, so now let's install this app. Successfully this app is installed. Now what we need to do, once again here just comment this out. Where did it go? And then let's use this one. Alright, and in the meantime in URLs, okay, we'll create that later. So inside it our demo session, where did it go? Yeah, this one. Okay, now let's come here and inside our view let's create so request.session, and you will see this. Now in view section let's create this file. Okay, so what are these? Here you can see there are two things. The first one, this one, is for setting the session. This one is for setting the session, and once you set the value into session, then it remains throughout the browser until you close the browser. I will show you. And this one is for getting the session, means whatever value we have set. So how we set this is the function, you know, but it's better because set session and get session. In set session what we will do, we will set the session. That means we will create here. Okay, we are setting the value here, so full name and email, and when we hit this point get session, then what will happen, this full name which we have specified here and email, the value of 2 we will get here and display here. So that's it. Now we need to make modification here, and of course the app name we need to specify here. Our app name is demo session, right? So let's create 2. First one is set session, and then second one is get session, right? So we'll write here set and get, these 2. So when we hit this point, then our session will be set, this one, and when we hit this get, then we can get this one. Now let's run our server. Okay, now let's go here, and then so set, it says session has been set. Okay, now to check that we need to write here get. So guys, you can see we have got this value, first name Umar and email. So how this works actually, let's open this here. It doesn't show anything, right? It says there is nothing called full name. So what you need to do, first you need to set, that means value must be set first, then if you write here get, then you can get the value, right? And it will remain until this browser doesn't close. So if I close this browser and I once again open incognito and try to get, then I will get the error because the session value is gone. Okay, so session value is normally useful for particular application like login. Once you are logged in, then the value of that session can be accessed in any other page. For example, if I create here say dashboard, okay, just create another, suppose there is a page called dashboard, in that one I want to access these 2 value as well. Okay, so what I will do, just we need to change here URL, create one more URL. I will write here dashboard, and then dashboard. So guys, don't worry, we will implement all these things in our project so that you will get a clear picture. Okay, now first let's set, session is set. Now if I open here dashboard, dashboard, okay, we can get the value here. Similarly, if I open here get, then I can get value here as well. So that means what, once the value is set, then you can get the value wherever you like. Okay, so guys, this is how this session works. Request.session, through request.session you can set the value, request.session you can set the value, and here request through same request.session you can get value. this time we were setting, so there is key and value, but for retrieving the value you just need to write this one and store the value into any variable and you can use that. So guys, that's it in this chapter. In the next chapter we will see cookie in Django. So stay connected. Let's meet in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial Days, and in this video you are learning Django tutorial. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about Django cookie. In the last chapter we have discussed about Django session and it was working fine, but the main problem is that once you close the browser, the value of session is destroyed automatically. If you want to retain the value, if you want to keep the data persistent, in that case you can use cookie. So cookie is a concise data snippet stored in client's browser. Okay, in client's computer or browser is automatically saved to retain user information persistently or for a specific duration. If you don't specify the duration, then it will save permanently, but if you specify the duration, for example it should remain 24 hours, 5 days, 10 days, 1 year, so you can specify that way also. Apart from that, you can delete the cookie if required. So to set the cookie, it was, if you remember in the previous chapter, it was a request.session. Here it is set cookie and get cookie. It's very easy. So request.cookies and key, if you provide in that way also, you can retrieve the value of the cookie. So let's do one thing. In the same project, what we will do, let's create here two functions called set cookie and get cookie, same as what we had created for session. So in this time we are not going to create any new project. In the same project we will use that. In the view section we will just paste here. So there are two functions, set cookie and get cookie. Just remove this one. Okay, so here you can see we are setting the cookie, set cookie, HTTP response, and then Django tutorial. This is key. Always remember there is key value here. Okay, so this is key and this is your value, whatever value you want to store. Okay, and so the value is set here. Okay, now to get this cookie, request.cookies, and then you have to pass here the key, the same key, this one. Okay, once you pass this key, then you can display the value. For example, tutorial is @ whatever name is tutorial.in, value you can retrieve from here, which we are storing here, or we can say this is value of cookie, to make it more simplified. Okay, this tutorial. So now let's run the application once again. I think it's already running here. So let's go to the browser and then check. Yeah, one more thing, we need to specify these two into our URLs as well. So just copy these two and then set cookie, and here get cookie, these two. So set cookie and get cookie. Now let's get not set session first, na? Set cookie, set cookie. Okay, it says this cookie has been set. Now to retrieve the cookie, the value, so we will write here get cookie, get cookie. So this is the value of the cookie, get cookie. Why it's not displaying? There is something wrong. So check here. I guess this same or different? No, it's same. And then request dot cookies Django cookie tutorial, and tutorial we are passing here tutorial, right? Respond dot get set cookie, we are setting this one, and we are retrieving set cookie. What's not coming? Okay, there is some problem in my browser. Actually I have disabled third-party cookie, that's why. So let's go to our this browser rather than there, set cookie, and now let's try get cookie. Get cookie, get okay, we are not getting anything because let's enable here third-party cookies allowed, right? So we should get this. Why we are not getting? So let's check here if the cookie is coming or not. So you go to here application and then cookies and then this one. So guys, you can see cookie is getting set here, and this is the value tutorial rows res dot in, right? So as you can see the value is getting set here, but why here it is not displaying? Let's check here. Okay, I think I missed one thing. Cookies dot get, we need to request dot cookies dot get. Okay, so this way it should work now. What happened? Built-in function or method object is not scriptable. Cookie setting, that is fine, but we are having problem in getting, right? Okay, we need to actually format this, and then double quote will be outside here, because in Python 3 we write in this syntax. So we have to display the value, we will write like this. Okay, now let's try. So get cookie, and apart from that we need to make this, remove this square bracket and write in this syntax. It's happening like this. Okay, so request dot cookies dot get, so we are getting this, and finally we are displaying the value here. So now let's see the result. This is get cookie. So you guys, you can see we are getting the value. Let's understand it again. There is very small code in this. So for setting the cookie, response dot set cookie. Okay, and then you have to provide here key and value whatever you want to put, just like session, and then return response whatever it is, and to get the value request dot cookies dot get, and then this key we have to provide here. Now after the getting value, wherever you want to display, you can display the value. So that's it. And of course to fetch that, what I've done, set cookie in this function and get cookie. So in the browser, if you hit this, then you set the cookie, and when you hit this you get the cookie. So you might be wondering what is the use of this. Yes, there is use of this particularly when you are creating any login, and you might have seen remember me. Whenever you log in, there is a checkbox called remember me, right? So in that case you can use this. in the project further I will show you that how practically this one is used. For the time being, this is enough to understand that how cookies set and how cookies get. So that's it in this chapter. Let's see in the next chapter. Hello friends, welcome to tutorial days, and in this video, in this section you are going to learn how to add, implement Bootstrap into your Django framework. As you know, Bootstrap is very important CSS framework which we can use along with the Django framework to make any website very responsive. So step by step I will show you that how you can use Django and Bootstrap together. So let's do one thing. Let's come back here once again and create one more project called Django Bootstrap. Okay, right. So now that we have created this one, what we will do, once again we have to follow the same procedure, and that one is settings.py. Let's close this, comment this, and write here the name of our new project. Okay, a new project name is Django Bootstrap. Django Bootstrap. Okay, so one task is done. Now the next task that we need to do is create one folder called templates. Also, let's create one folder called static, or not package, directory called static, right? So now what we need to do, inside a static folder we can download and install or copy paste just Bootstrap, or there is another way we can directly implement CDN. So let's see the CDN way. In here in view, let's create one function def index. So let's write here hello world with Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap, and now this HTML we will pass here. In URLs, once again we need to go to demo proj, or URL is already open here. So simply comment these all and let's copy this URL and paste here. So this will be index, and of course our view name will be our project name will be different. So this is Django Bootstrap. So that's it. Now inside our templates folder we need to create one index.html file, and then you have two ways to implement or use Bootstrap. The first and easiest method is to use here CDN. And here what we need to do, we have to call here index.html, and we can pass this value as well, this one. Okay, so and here render, and then request. So this render we need to render. Okay, so now let's run the server. What it says? Oh, there will be no this one, na? Now it's fine. So let's see. Okay, it says it will be dictionary, na? Not str. It will say so. Let's make something like this, curly braces, and then content, and then this curly braces end. Finally HTML. Okay, we don't have anything in HTML, that's why it's not showing anything, but you can see it is displaying here. So now to include this Bootstrap CDN, this is the easiest way of including the CDN. Right, in here let's create one simple button. Button close, click me, class btn success, which is a Bootstrap class. Now let's try. So guys, you can see Bootstrap class is perfectly working. Okay, now the question is, if I download Bootstrap and then I want to use, rather than using CDN, then what to do? You can download Bootstrap and then so these are compiled versions, but this one is 4. So let's download. After downloading, just copy these two. So here just we will copy these two CSS and this one and paste into our folder. So our project name is, and then inside static we need to paste these two, static folder, remember. Okay, and after this here we need to write load static file. So these are the things when you need to write, as we have already discussed about it, that how to load static files, right? And now CSS folder, then min.css and min.js. Now let's try and open it. It says the static file is not registered with the library. Okay, actually this will be static, not static files. Load static, right? So now it's working perfectly. if you want to check, because we have this CDN also, so let's remove this CDN or comment this out, so that we will make sure that it is working without CDN. Okay, I just commented out. Now let's refresh and check. Okay, the JavaScript is working, but this one is not working somehow. So let's see why it's not working. But button class is coming perfectly. Somehow our Bootstrap is, yeah, Bootstrap is also loading, but somehow. Okay, so rather let's disable this Boost CSS, Bootstrap min.css. But let's restart one server, because of caching this kind of problem happens. Oh, okay, I disabled this, no? So that can be the reason. Still it's not working. Welcome back to Tutorial Days, and in this chapter we are going to discuss about how to configure admin interface and also how to create user and password for admin. We have already discussed in the beginning that Django is very smart, that it has been created in such a way that admin is already inbuilt in this. We don't need to create the admin from scratch. Admin is already there. What we need, that we need to extend its functionality if requirement be. But the question is how we will enter into the admin. So in this section I will show you how you will enter into the admin, and also how you can create user and password. For example, if you write here admin, then it will lead you to the admin section. But where is the user and password? Because there is no any option to create here user and password. So to create user and password, we need to follow this. Okay, so this is the command python manage.py. As I mentioned before, that manage.py is very important. So we will just create, let's press Ctrl C, and then here I didn't copy, just we will copy here. Okay, so what we will have to do, we have to create user and password here. So the command is python, this is the command, python manage.py create super user. Okay, so now press enter, and then you will get error. The error is, it says that table is not created. Okay, no such table called auth user. So for that, what we will have to do, if you go on the top, it give a suggestion. So let's do one thing, let's start the server once again, and you will see it gives us the hint. Okay, it says run python manage.py migrate, and this will create the table. If you remember, I had told you in the beginning that it is based on ORM, Object Relational ORM, Object Relational Manager, relation manager. Okay, so that means what, we don't have to create table or manually. It is Django which is responsible for creating the table. So here we are giving command to Python Django to create table whatever is required. So now as you can see, all this table has been created successfully. So now we will run this command, this one. Okay, and then it will ask you to create user and password. oh, not run server, actually super user, this one. Okay, so username I'm giving here admin, and then email address admin@gmail.com. you should provide here the actual user password in practical when you are creating any real project, because if you need to reset the password, then password will be sent on this address. And now password 12345 12345. So now it is giving in warning that password must be at least 8 characters. So it asks me that if I want to proceed with password, then I say okay, that's fine, because this is learning, so no problem. So our user is admin and password is 12345. Now run the server, and then I'll write here admin, then password 12345, login. So guys, you can see successfully I'm able to log into the admin. Inside admin, you can see there are different user group. For example, I'm creating here a group, say trainer. Okay, and then save. Trainer group has been created. Now if you want to create here user, then username I will say my name I'm giving, password 1234567 okay, and once again password 1234567 and save. Okay, so here you need to provide the good password like this. So let me provide here something, new pass save. What happened? Oh, password didn't match. Okay, so here once again new pass and here once again okay. So I created this password, so successfully it has been created. Now as a user I will try to log in from here. Okay, so it was Umar, then as a user I will try to log in. No, the password is incorrect, it looks like. Umar, and then okay, so what we will have to do, once again let's log into admin, and then let's go to here, and then you need to tick this stop status. Okay, it was unchecked, you need to check this and then save. So if I log out here, try to log in, so it was Umar, and then the password is, what is this password, login. Like you can see the user can also log in from here, though it doesn't have much permission, but you can also provide permission. So you can see that admin or user role we don't have to create, it's already there. So guys, that's it in this section. Let's meet in the next section. Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Age, and in this video you are learning Django Framework. And in this series, in this chapter, you are going to learn how to do CRUD operation. So in previous chapter you have already learned how to connect with the MySQL, SQLite, and also I shown you how to connect with MongoDB, and I also shown you how view works, how model works, how form works. All these things I shown you separately. Okay, but in this video we will do a project collectively including all those previous things, so that you will get an idea that how all those things including you can create CRUD operation. So this is the complete project structure. Okay, so for example, this is my CRUD project. Then here we are going to create this app. As you know, I've already shown you that how you can create project, and inside that how you can create apps, and inside apps there is template, and these are the HTML files, and also we will create forms, models, and views, etc, etc. So guys, step by step I have the code ready. I'm not going to write line to line this code, but I have the code ready, so I will just take from there, but I will explain you that how that works, and most of the things I've already explained in previous chapters. Okay, so let's start first by creating this project. So as you know, to create the project, this is a very simple command line. So Django admin, as you know, this is the command to create a new project. So Django admin start project my CRUD project. You can give whatever name you like, but at this point of time I'm going to give this name only. Okay, so if you do dir, then you can see my CRUD project has been successfully created. Now cd, and then the next step will be to create app. As you know, inside project we can create as many as apps, but at this point of time we are going to create this app, and the app name is python manage.py start app students. Okay, so app is created. Once we have created all these things, the next step will be to migrate the data. But before that, let's create the model. Just copy this, and I have already explained everything. So what I will do, let's do one thing. My CRUD project, let's open this into PyCharm. So my CRUD project, so this is the students app, and this one is project. Okay, inside app first we need to create model. Actually already model is created. What we need to do, just write the code for the model. So guys, you are familiar with this code because I've already shown in previous chapters how to create the model. So this is the model, and class student models, first name, last name, email, password. Okay, so this is the code of model. So what we have done, we have just created here class, and then inside that first name, last name, email, password. So these are the 4 fields which we are going to create here. We have already done these things, so you might be familiar. All right, so let's just the model part is finished. The next step will be, okay, after creating model, as you know, we have to do migration. Okay, so that corresponding table will be created. So this one, just write this so that the table will be created. Okay, as well as you will see the SQLite. This SQLite has been created where our database will be saved. In this project we are going to use SQLite. In later maybe I will also show you through MySQL and MongoDB, but I have already shown you how to connect with those databases also. All right, now the next step will be inside student view.py. Inside views, let's write this line of code. First, step by step we will write this, not all together, so that you don't get confused. What we have done, let's remove this. What we have done, students from and the next step will be to create form. Okay, here there is no any form. So inside students, let's create a new file, a new module called form.py. Okay, now inside form, if you go ahead, then you will see this is the line of the code for form. You just copy here. So first name, last name, email and password corresponding of this new input file will be created. Right. So from models, do we need this model? No, because this is in the same directory, so we don't need that dot in here. So Django import forms models we have created, and then form and inside view. That's why. So student.form only, I think form is enough. From form, and that's it. And here we are creating a new function called student create, which will be helpful in adding the data. And here post method in a form, and finally redirect to student list. So what we will do, okay, for render we need to import something in the top, Django shortcut for rendering. And now let's create one folder inside students, and that is here templates. Templates, right? Inside templates, let's create another file, folder actually, directory, and that will be students. Inside this student, we will create a file called studentform.html, which will be of our form HTML file. Okay, inside HTML file we will just this is our HTML file for student form. So just copy here inside body. Okay, so this is done. Now the next step will be form is ready, view is ready, models is ready. The next step will be to go to our project and go to URLs. In here we will add here the URL. So if you go to the file, then for URLs what I'll do, I'll just copy this line of code first, because first we will write the code for creation. So student create, and then so we need to import view. Okay, from students.view import create. And one more very important thing what we need to do here, of course we need to register our app. So students is our app name, that means this folder name. Okay, right. Now let's do one thing, let's go here and check. Okay, let's run the project now. So python manage .py run server. Okay, no module named form. Okay, there is something wrong here. It says line number 3 form, view, line number, it says no form. Okay, so what I've done, students.form. Okay, import this. Now it says no module called models where form.py. Now let's go to form.py, and once again here students dot models student. So inside model, this is our model name, right? Okay, so finally the project is ready for run. Now let's go here, let's go to browser, and then let's paste, and this is our create is our path. So guys, as you can see, the data that means the form is ready for saving. The next step will be, so let's do one thing. I'll just enter my name and all things. Yes, but okay, it says no such table student. Let's do one thing, run, and it should show somewhere. Python manage.py make migration. Okay, now the model, this one is created, and now migrate. So student table has been now created. Okay, so I think this error should now go. Okay, it's created now, but we need to start the server, no? Yeah, it says the path is not found. That is fine. Now the next step will be to create. So student form is ready, just close it, and inside view now we will create a function for displaying. So how this works, let me show you. When you submit the form, then this section runs. Okay, so if it checks first that if the form is valid, then form.save whatever data is saved, and after saving it will redirect to this path. Okay, this path we have not created so far. Else what will happen, it will display the form, simple form. Okay, so when you load, for example, when you refresh, then currently this section is running, this section. Okay, but when you submit, then this section is running. So that is the main point here. Now to display the data, what we will do, let's go to models. We don't need anymore. Form is not needed now. Setting is also not required. Now URLs and this views, these two things is required. So for displaying the data, now let's go to here and list. So this is the one. What is happening here, this is a function student list, and then select star from students. That means it will select the student, all the students from table, and finally whatever data it will fetch, it will send here, and after sending, this is key value pair, the data will be sent here, and finally we can retrieve that into this one. So once again what you will do, just create a file of this name inside student. Okay, and here for listing, this is for student list inside body. Let me explain you how this works. You see here, we are sending these students. Okay, after fetching the data, we are sending these to here. Okay, first we are selecting the data from record and then assigning here. After this we are sending here, and then from here it is coming here, and finally this data we will fetch into this file, that means here. So now let's go here. What happens? So here this student is coming from view file. Okay, list, this coming from here, and finally we are taking its value here using for loop, and we are displaying here student.first name, student.last name, and here ahref URL student detail. That means later when you click it will go to student detail, and this is primary key. That means the main ID, it will take the ID. Okay, so when we click here I will show you how that will work, and finally this one is for creating the student. Now let's check if the data it is present. But yeah, before that we have to come back here and then just copy this and then list, right? So is this list or what? Yeah, list. So this is student list actually. Okay, so name it as student list, and then here the file name is student list, the function name which we will import from function. Here this is student list we are fetching here, and finally we are passing, and name is of course student list, not student create here. So student list, student list. Now let's go here and then create one more data. Say save. Okay, so student, okay, it says student detail not found in the this one. All right, so we will create student detail here. Now the next task is to create function again for student detail. Let's go to function and then this function for student detail, that means for particular student, single student. Student detail is a function, request and primary key. It will take student get object or 404. That means either first it will pass the ID, it will match the ID, and if data is found then it will assign here and here and here, and finally it will go to student detail, or else it will show 404. Okay, so actually we need to import this here 404. Okay, now we need to create this file student detail, where all right, and this student detail, let's go to HTML, this one. This will show the single student, one student detail. Okay, so student name, student last name, student email, password, and finally for student update and delete. What we will do, let's comment this for the time being. Okay, let's comment these two for the time being, or else you will get an error. Okay, we will enable it later, but yeah, and so for this student detail we need one more function here, right, in URL. So student detail, and same here and same here and same here. Once again you will get an error, so you need to import student detail. Here one more thing we need to add here in student detail. In the student detail we have to pass here primary key. Okay, int, so the path will be like this for student detail, because we, okay, so we need to pass here ID. All right, that's why we were getting this error. So how does it work? You need to pass here int ID, that means primary key, and then this is the URL. So let's go here and refresh and check. All right, so guys, now our list is properly showing. When you click on this, then update student is not found, so we'll have to create this. That's why we are getting error, but at least you can see add and update you can do. So guys, you can see this is the third list. Okay, so far we have created add student and list student. Now we will work on view or update student. Okay, so the next task will be here to, let's close this and close this as well. We have done so far create, that means add and list all the students, and this one we will work, but before that we are getting error, so we will work on update student as well. Actually, why we are getting this error, let me show you. In student detail we have written these two lines, that's why. Okay, if you remove this and then if you check, you can see the student detail is showing here. So that means what? And yes, this ID which we have passed here in URL, that is the one it is displaying there. Okay, this ID, for example, if you click on Neha Khatun, then it is displaying 3. So same ID is taking here, and when you click, it is fetching the ID, and that ID is passing here, and based on the ID it is fetching single data, and you are displaying that data. So now let's skip that. Okay, and remove this HTML code. So the next task will be to work on delete student. That is easier. Let's go to here, and this is delete student. Now just copy this and view here. So delete student once again, because which record will be deleted, you need to pass here the ID, and based on the ID it will get, and finally it will delete and return to student list. So of course we need to pass here this detail as well, and here delete student. What is the path we need to check here? Delete student, delete student, delete, and student delete. Once again this function we need to call, which we have just created here. Okay, so now update, but before that let's delete this and let's try to update. So I'm trying to delete this. Neha, and then delete. Okay, there is something wrong here. Student delete, and then okay, both are matching here. That's why. So we need to write here delete. Okay, refresh. Now it's perfectly deleted again, because you can see here it shows something like this, 2 and then delete. Okay, so guys, add and display list single, or is displaying the last step which is remaining, and that one is update student. So let's go here, and this is the code for update student. Now we will go here and be inside view. Let's write the code. This is similar to add, but the main difference is we have to pass here ID. While updating, what will happen? First it will fetch the data, and it will pass and display the record. Okay, here it will pass and display the record, and the next thing here is when we submit, then based on the ID, first we will check the ID which record needs to be updated. So suppose the ID is 2, then it will check, okay, which record ID is 2, it will update checking that ID from here. Okay, and finally the form will be saved and it will redirect to the home page. And this one is for loading the form. Now let's go to here, and yes, of course, once again we need to update the URL of updating this as well. For update URL, this is the code. Once again we need to call this function which we have just created. So let's go here and then click on student. So what we will have to do, if you remember, we had deleted the update. Now this edit is also displaying. Click, then you can see the data is displaying filled. How this is possible? Yeah, because of this. It is taking instance of form and then data is getting passed here from form and it is displaying the data filled. Okay. So how this happens? It matches the ID and then select from student. The data is stored here. The same data then takes from the student instance here, and finally the data is stored in the form, and this form is passed here and the data is taken from form, and then from this form what we have here in student form, the data is displaying filled here. Okay, so that's how it works. Now when we save, for example, Umar, save, then you can guys, you see the data is updated successfully. This time Umar Abdul Rahman. So guys, this way our insert update and delete is showing successfully. So hope you like the video. Let's meet in the next chapter. Hello guys, welcome back to Tutorial Race, and this is the final part of this single video. And in this video, in this chapter, actually I'm going to show you how you can do admin CRUD operation using this SQLite or MySQL, whatever you like. Okay, so what I will do, let's open admin. Then actually this process we have already done before in the same video, if you remember. So what I'm going to do, once again I'm repeating that, but this time we will extend this feature. Okay, so let's write here the code. Break it, then Python manage.py create super user. This will actually create super user. It asks username. I'm giving just admin and then email ID. Password admin. Okay, it says the password is similar, so do I want to keep this? That is fine. So user and password has been successfully created. Now run the server and then try to open admin. So it was admin and then admin. Login. So successfully it has been created, but this is nothing new because we had already done this, but what I'm going to do, we will extend the feature. Okay, so how? And the most important part is that we just need to register this into admin section. Okay, so let's go to admin dot. So here you can see inside this app admin.py. Now let's copy here, and then Django country, we are calling here our model. Okay, so just imagine that how easy it is. Just registering with this model, your admin section is complete. So that's it, guys. Now let's go here and log in here, admin, and then admin. That one. Okay, looks like all right. Yes, done here. Okay, so guys, this one is default, but just adding this simple line of code, this model, registering that model, and just attaching this to student, it now came into the admin. Not only that, whatever we have, let's do one thing. If you remember from this, you can check here the list. We have currently 2 lists, right? And now refresh, and guys, you can see here also 2 lists. So which you can easily either create from here front or from admin. That means what? Whatever you are adding here, you can see from the admin. For example, okay, 3 records are here. Same, refresh it, you can see the 3 records are here. Now I will add from here also, so automatically all these forms got created. And then save and edit. Okay, save. So this means I added here. Same, you can see here. So guys, either from front or from admin, both the way you can add, update, delete, and synchronize. So guys, that's it in this video. Hope you like the complete video. And guys, still if you have not subscribed, then I strongly recommend you subscribe the channel. And if you have any question or queries, don't forget to write in the comment box. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.